Hi, ladies. How are you? Welcome to our meeting today. I wanted to share with you that it is close to like 2:30 here. Yeah, it's about 3 o'clock, 3 p.m. here in New Zealand, and the weather is it's like gushing out there. I still had my morning walk today, even if it was a bit kind of rainy and very windy. So I hope everyone is doing really wonderfully, and I wanted to come on and share this incredible message, which I feel is essential as part of our growth. So we have a gateway that leads us to our wisdom. Are you allowing infinite intelligence to work through you? Now, infinite intelligence is that part within your soul that is connected to wisdom, that allows wisdom to come through. And when we are in tune, when we are open and receptive to receiving this infinite intelligence that comes from the external world, but then it kind of vibrates with our soul and spirit, then we are guided. So therefore we live life from a space of trust, of faith, and we are in that way letting go of control. We are no longer on a leash, right? Trying to control everything. Hi, Kelly, welcome. So infinite intelligence. So control is a big barrier. Now, this is why I wanted to talk about this today, because control is something that really stands in the way between you receiving your sixth sense. So first of all, I wanted to ask you, do you believe that you have a sixth sense? I feel, hi Therese, I wanted to ask you, do you believe that we have a sixth sense? And if you don't believe that you have a sixth sense, I would love to ask you why. And if you do believe that you have a sixth sense, that we do have a sixth sense, then I would want to ask you, how do you connect with your sixth sense? Do you listen to your sixth sense? So now, just before I get into this, I wanted to briefly recapture what I spoke about yesterday. But yesterday, it was, I think the live went on for about half an hour, but the main points that I covered was I was really inviting you to have a look at the way that, there's a few symbols that I put in front of you to invite you to kind of as a way to perceive life. So one of them was the boomerang. It's a symbol of the boomerang. So everything that we project outwards that comes from source, remember? So the source, the thought never leaves the source. So whatever we are projecting from ourselves outward, it is going to be coming back to us, okay? So that's number one. Number two was the stages of learning. So when you look at a baby, the first stage is he's rolling on his back, and then from the rolling on his back, he moves from crawling, and he uses his little hands and its little knees and feet to crawl. Then it starts to stand and walk, and then it starts running and then sprinting. Okay, so look at it. I wanted to invite you to have a look at this process of growth, of expansion of your and getting to know yourself at a deeper level, as as stages, as like different stages of growth, where nothing is wrong, everything is perfect the way it is. And I was inviting you to also consider the fact that, to see yourself as being whole regardless of whatever stage you are in. Okay, so the child, because it's at its beginning stage, it doesn't mean that it has a deficit. It just simply means that it is at the initial stages, right? So they're still learning, learning to be mobile, learning to move the little muscles, the bones are forming. So we can look at ourselves in a similar sense. So another thing that I mentioned yesterday, and the reason why I'm bringing it forward is because I just want to update everybody, was asking and the importance of asking. So when you are asking questions to the universe, you're operating from a space of, first of all, of love, secondly, of faith and trust. So you are open to receive, which is the opposite of control. When you are in control, that means that you are operating from a state of mind, and you are not actually allowing yourself to receive. The receptors of your body are closed off. So this brings me to, so I guess what I introduced yesterday was just kind of giving you little things to kind of look at, and just to kind of stimulate your visionary muscle, okay, your third eye, and and to start to kind of like really embody those imageries, right? Now today, it's all about seeing how control, I grew up with a very controlling mum, a very controlling father. I probably had lots of facets of myself that, led me to be a bit controlling in certain areas or certain aspects of my thoughts and my personality. But in comparison with my family, I was actually very laid back, right? So everybody operates in different ways. Everybody uses control in different ways. However, no matter how you are using it, it still stands as a block and as a barrier. I don't like the word block, but yeah, it does definitely stand as a barrier, okay? So what I want to talk to you about today, or ask you, is how do you, so I wrote it here, so we have a gateway that leads us to wisdom. So are you allowing infinite intelligence to work through you? Now, when you allow infinite intelligence to work through you, then you are literally allowing yourself to be guided by spirit. And you are no longer being guided by fear. Because remember, when you are in control, you're operating from a space of fear. So I just want you to take that in. I'm happy to repeat that again. So when we are operating in a state of being in control, it means that we are not trusting the natural resources. We are not trusting the resources, that everything is abundant, everything is available to us. Therefore, we are operating from a space of fear, of lack. Okay? And there's no blame here. Everyone's brought up, everyone has learned from or learned habits and behaviors from what they've seen. So what I want to invite you to do is to have this little observation. So if you have any questions, and I don't know who's on live at the moment, but if you do have any questions, please just come forward and ask, okay? So control is a really big thing. It's a big epidemic. It's a big issue for women these days, men as well, but remember, always say it. I love to use symbology and like metaphors and things, because it helps me to, when I'm feeling that emotion, when I'm feeling it through my body, I like to have that image in my mind. So then it helps me to let go of it. So for example, control, the way that I see it is that you're holding onto this rope and you're stuck. Okay. So it's kind of like you're doing like a bush track and you're holding onto this rope, but you're not really allowing yourself to walk through the bush, to walk through in this track freely. So that's the first image that comes to my mind, is you're holding on so tightly to this rope that you are stopping yourself from liberating yourself, from freeing yourself. So what I want to show you how to do is to let go of this rope. You let go of this rope, and as you are letting go of this rope, you are allowing yourself to be in the moment, or really just to be open, to allow your energetic channels to be open and to receive this guidance and this infinite intelligence. And remember, the levels of growth that we go through are endless. Because we live in an infinite universe, right? So having said that, I wanted to ask you, are your thoughts, do you catch yourself having positive thoughts or negative thoughts? Or are they mostly negative, or are they positive? And when you have negative thoughts, are you able to catch yourself and have a conversation with yourself to see where the source is coming from of negativity? Because remember, when you have positive thoughts, your mind is open. You're then connecting with the universal intelligence. You're then connecting with the guidance and spirit. But when your thoughts are negative, then that means that you're shutting off your mind. You're shutting off your mind. You're shutting off even the filters through which infinite intelligence can come through, right, and work through you. Okay, so this is why this is the danger or the madness of negative thoughts, which I want to emphasize that it doesn't mean that you are not to express your truth, right? So feelings are valid, but also feelings operating from a state of blame and judgment, that's all very emotional. It's really operating from a state of emotion. And what I believe, and what my journey encompassed for so many years, was really connecting with my emotions, really understanding my emotions first, allowing myself to purge, to feel them. So allowing these emotions, to recognize them. What does it mean to be sad? What does it mean to be angry? What does it mean to be, furious? What does it mean to be jealous? What does it mean to be, all these emotions are so valid to actually, it's part of us being human. So feeling them, and then like understanding the source of that, and then going through the process of forgiveness and release. Okay, so feeling, the book that I'm writing is all about feel to heal. Feeling is a really big indicator of how you can get to know yourself and how you can work through the barriers that are stopping you from being open to receiving infinite intelligence. Okay, so thoughts, positive or negative. So thoughts that we are carrying in our mind are very important because it helps us to shape our reality. Also, are you creating an environment where you are allowing these thoughts to come through? Because you might say, Vanessa, I have no idea what kind of thoughts I'm having, whether they're negative, whether they're positive. I don't really know, because my mind goes, it's 100 miles an hour. I've got things to do. I've got to work. So when you see people walking past, what's the thought, what are the thoughts that you're using? So in that sense, if you don't create space and time for yourself to allow these thoughts to come up and to come up, then, because this is not about crucifying anyone that has negative thoughts. We all have the negative thoughts, right? It's a vibration. It's a low vibration, but it's a vibration. So the idea is to have or to create an ambience, right? An environment where you can allow yourself to sit in stillness, and you allow and see what comes out of you. But if you don't, or from you, so if you're not giving time and space to yourself to allow these thoughts to come up and come through, then that means that you don't really know yourself enough. You're not really allowing yourself to, you're not really accepting yourself, right? So the second one is asking the questions to infinite intelligence. So you ask questions, and a really beautiful way to ask is before you go to sleep. So you ask for guidance. Okay, so that's a really beautiful way. And the more you will do this, the more you will be practicing connecting with infinite intelligence. So having said this, I want to invite you to have a look at time, right? So I share a lot about timelessness and how there's timeless language and timeless action and timeless awareness. So I wanted to invite you to see time as non-linear. So just be with me, and I wanted to bring forward for you to have this like another prospect, another way of looking at time, and imagining that time is infinite or circular. So I see as habits and things and cycles that we leave unresolved or unconfronted, it always comes back to us. So this is why this is an example that I want to bring up to you. So I just wanted to invite you to see time as non-linear, but instead as cyclical, as a cycle, as cyclical. I think that's a term, as cyclical. And so just, and I'm just going to leave that with you. I'm going to leave that seed with you. I'm not going to go into it. I'm just going to say, I invite you to look at time as non-linear. Therefore, there is nothing to chase, and there is nothing to that controls you of the past, which means seeing time as non-linear, it helps you to really embrace the now and the moment, and to see that all the richness and the gift is actually really in the present moment. And everything you want to be, everything you want to become, everything that you are embodying that in every instance of your day. So I do have a course coming up, and I'm thinking of I'm still coming up with a name, but it's all going to be based on raising your frequency, raising your vibration. Okay, so when you are raising your vibration, then you become a match with everything that it is that you want in your life, and you become the sole creator of your life. So I'm going to keep it very simple. And there's going to be a section on language as a vibration, and also movement as a vibration, how you can use movement and language to help to increase your vibration. When you are operating from a state of high frequency and of a high vibration, then that means that you live from a state of bliss. You live in a state of acceptance and love. and you just become very comfortable in your own skin. Okay. Therefore, anxiety melts away, depression melts away. It doesn't mean that emotions won't come up. It just means that you will embrace them in a different way. Okay, so all of this I will teach in this course, and I'll be sharing more information about it the more I come on live. If you have any questions, just approach me about it. And I think this is all for today. So just kind of inviting you, asking you questions and inviting you to ponder on how you are, because remember, my work is all about helping you to empower yourself, right? So I'm not just here to give out rules that you need to follow. It's more about inviting you to self-examine and to explore, okay? So I'm going to send you a lot of love, and I'll see you again very soon. Remember, the questions are very helpful. If there's anything that you want to share with the ladies in the group, please do that, because this is going to help us to grow together. It's going to help us to expand our knowledge and to grow, right? Okay. I'll see you again soon. Bye.